A long time ago, centuries before Europeans ran their boats up on the sand, a little girl lived with her family in this place called Stanley Park. She was a happy child, forgetful of her chores, but always forgiven because she smiled so brightly and asked such delightful questions. The people of her tribe called her Spirit Bird because if she had wings, she would sail away on the wind and never be seen again. Clumsy and forgetful as she was at most useful tasks, Spirit Bird was a very good clam digger. She loved to go out on the beach at low tide and fill her basket with clams, which she would bring home for everyone to feast on. She especially loved clam digging on windy days. "How are you, Shore Breeze?" she would ask. "Thank you for combing my hair and stroking my cheeks." Shore Breeze wasn't very talkative. In fact, for years he said nothing at all. But Spirit Bird knew he was listening, and it was noted by the people that even on the calmest days, when everyone else was oppressed by the heat and the bugs, there would be a gentle wind blowing wherever Spirit Bird went. "She has drawn the spirit of the wind to her, there's no doubt about it," they said. As she grew older, Spirit Bird longed for a glimpse of her consort. She wanted to see him, not just a ripple on the water or bending grass or scuttling leaves where he had passed. "No one has ever seen the wind," her mother warned, which must mean the wind is not meant to be seen. This answer did not satisfy Spirit Bird, so she went out on a point of land, opened her arms, and called to Shore Breeze. "I have been your companion since I was a child," she said. "Now that I am a young woman, I long to see you." Nothing happened, but she persisted, facing the sea with her feet firmly planted on the rocks and her arms spread out like a net. "Why won't you show yourself?" she pleaded, and for the first time Shore Breeze spoke, using her own language. "I do not show myself because anyone who sees me will be lost to her people. It is enough to feel my gentle caress, to hear my whispers and sighs, to see my passing in the waving branches of the trees. Do not ask for more." "You must heed Shore Breeze," Spirit Bird's mother advised. But the girl was determined and would not listen. "If he will not show himself willingly, I will trick him," she vowed. So the next day, when she set out for the beach, Spirit Bird filled her clam basket with dry sticks of cedar, and she brought along a hot ember from the longhouse fire, and a wooden ladle carved in the shape of a duck. When she got to the shore, she ignored the clam beds, making her way onto her rocky point instead. Here, she built a fire, stacking the wood and igniting it with the glowing ember. When it was burning brightly, the wood crackling and snapping, Spirit Bird called out to Shore Breeze to join her. He obliged, blowing the smoke away and making the fire glow even more cheerfully. "Why do you have a fire blazing on such a warm day? Isn't it a waste of wood?" he asked. She nodded, but did not answer. He swooped closer in, whirling around so that the smoke twisted skyward like a tornado. Shore Breeze was enjoying himself in her company, which made Spirit Bird feel badly for what she must do. "He trusts me, and I am using that trust to trick him." This thought almost stopped her from carrying out her plan. But before her will weakened, Spirit Bird dipped her ladle into the sea and threw a scoop of water onto the flames. A cloud of steam billowed up from the fire, and before her eyes it took the form of a beautiful young man, Shore Breeze. He turned toward her, frowning. "Ah," he said, "you, of all the people I have touched, were the only one to interpret my whispers. Now, you are the first to see me. Because of this, you shall be mine." "Are you angry?" Spirit Bird asked. "No," he laughed. "I am joyful, for you do me honor with your devotion. But your people will miss you." And so they did. When she failed to return from her clam digging that day, a search party was sent out to find her. They circled the land between the waters in a war canoe. They beat the bushes and called out through the forest, but all they ever found were the cold ashes of her fire, a wooden ladle shaped like a duck, her clam basket, and her cedar cape. The girl had vanished. Some said she had dived into the sea and drowned because she was sad not to meet her lover, Shorebreeze. Others claimed they could hear her whispering to them in the hissing of the waves and the sighing of the trees. Some even said that she guided them away from danger and showed them things they would never have discovered without her gentle influence. Those were the ones who knew Spirit Bird had never gone very far. Thank you for joining me for episode 1 of Blowdown. More episodes will be posted on this website in the future. If you want to support this kind of activity, please read the following frames. Thank you again.